We come by the hundreds, the thousands to see her, each with a thought in our minds of what we will see. And we are forever overwhelmed. The average visitor to the canyon stays for only 2 hours. He snaps photographs and peers over the edge, straining to see the unfathomable depths. Much like the first Europeans to see the canyon, he doesn't go beyond the awesome panorama. For 200 years after the discovery, the only interest the Europeans had in the canyon was the hope of finding gold or converts to Christianity. But in search of profit, man is not easily deterred. Towards the end of the 19th century, when mining activities proved to be too costly, early prospectors turned to tourism. They began a tradition which continues today. Tourist and mule form an uneasy alliance in an effort to reach deeper into the canyon. The earliest tourists arrived on horseback, then stagecoach, and the Santa Fe brought in the rail in 1901. The Grand View and the first Bright Angel Lodge replaced tents for tourist accommodations. The fabulous El Tovar was built by Fred Harvey in 1905. Early tourists had to spend days rather than just hours in the canyon. The first automobile made its way to the canyon in 1912. Soon to follow were roads. Today, as it was then, it is still man and animal on foot to explore the interior. The famous and the not so famous have enjoyed and endured the rigors of a steep, hot trail to get nearer the heart of the canyon. The tourist begins to understand the ways and hardships of the earliest expeditions, to get a closer look at the depths he has gazed at from above. But to get an even more accurate perspective of the canyon, the visitor needs to take the most ancient form of transportation. This form of transportation has been popular in the canyon for over 4,000 years. Most of the trails through the canyon were originally made by animals and followed by the Indian. This was the home of the Hopi, Havasupai, Paiute, and Wallapai. Hopi ancestors explored the wonders of the Grand Canyon almost 2,000 years ago. Long before Europeans crossed the oceans, the ancient ones, the Anasazi and the Kohonina, lived here. The journey on foot gives the visitor time to reflect on these ancient ones. The Hopi believe that man emerged into this world here in the canyon. Man came through a spring, the Sipapu, and began his life here. And with the discovery of small willow figurines found in the canyon, it has been determined that man walked here 4,000 years ago, some 2,000 years before Hopi ancestors. What other mysteries might the canyon hold? Why not take the time to find out? You should, however, be properly prepared to tackle the canyon on foot. Know your limitations. Work your way up to more advanced trails. Prepare adequate supplies, especially water. Know the symptoms of heat stroke and dehydration. This personal encounter with the canyon requires special preparation and consultation with the Park Service. A great deal of physical exertion is required. Yet there is another way to experience the canyon, one which makes fewer demands on the feet, but perhaps greater demands on the nerves. This is a journey through the heart of the canyon, a journey through time. The tourist has been coming to the canyon for over 100 years. The Indian has lived in the canyon for 4,000 years. Yet the Colorado and her tributaries have been forming the Grand Canyon for 6 million years. Water has been the sculptor of all this beauty. The journey down the river gives the visitor a close-up view of rocks 2 billion years old. Rocks almost half as old as the Earth itself. The Earth's youthful eruptions cascaded down to meet the river only 1 million years ago. The scene must have been a violent one, as hot lava poured into a steaming, angry river. But the river pushed on, defying nature's attempts to contain her. Nothing controlled the mighty Colorado until man built a dam. First, Lake Mead was created. Then Glen Canyon was dammed and formed Lake Powell. John Wesley Powell led the first scientific exploration through these beautiful canyons on the Colorado. He felt both fear and awe in their presence. How would he feel today to see Glen Canyon buried in water and named in his honor? Sometimes man gets confused in his efforts to preserve and protect. In the early 1900s, almost all the mountain lion population was destroyed in efforts to save the deer from their depredations. The effect? The deer overpopulated and died of starvation. We've even destroyed our own historic first steps into the canyon in an effort to return everything to the natural state. The remains of the old Grandview Hotel were destroyed in the 60s. But we are trying. Today, everyone knows the importance of leaving things as we find them, of taking out everything we bring in. We know to leave only footprints, to carry away only memories. Now that you've seen the canyon on a more intimate level, perhaps you can begin to understand the delicate balance of life around you. The only perspective you've not yet explored is the free, soaring delight of a bird's eye view. For in flight, it is only the birds which have truly conquered the canyon.
No, you don't.
The lure of the canyon can be answered in flight.
No, I'm allergic to heights. I am.
Open your senses and capture that which no photograph, no painting, no lyrical description can capture. Capture the canyon in your heart. Your heart will always remember it best.
Hi. This is part of a new program. We're trying to get in touch with the canyon. All right, where are you? You can't scare me. I've done everything. I've seen it all.
Seen it all? No. You've only had a glimpse of the canyon. If you were as old as the rocks around you, you might have seen it all. If you could be a boulder washed from the rim.
No. Wait a minute. No, wait. I didn't mean it.
Washed by raging waters into the Colorado. Oh, well, even if your stay is only for a few hours, there's no question that you will come away far richer than when you arrived.